When you hear these words, imagine for a moment that time slows down and a new doorway opens in your mind. Humanity has always searched for meaning. Where did we come from? Where are we going? And why were we born? For thousands of years, these questions have echoed in our hearts, and even today, we are still seeking the answers. Throughout this journey, there have always been guides, messengers, and beacons of light. One such figure is a name you may have heard, but perhaps never fully understood: Lord Sananda. For some, the name evokes religion. For others, spiritual channels. And for others still, something more modern, a concept of higher consciousness. In truth, Sananda is not only about one historical figure, it is a representation of humanity's growth, awakening, and evolving potential. Many cultures may call this energy by different names, but the essence is the same: to awaken, to guide, to illuminate. When we speak of Sananda today, we step outside the limits of religious dogma and myth. In modern language, Sananda represents awakened consciousness, the ability within each person to rise to a higher state of being. It's the light, the love, the courage, and the wisdom that already live inside you. So why now? Why talk about Sananda in this moment? Because the world is changing faster than ever. Technology, culture, information, and energy are shifting at incredible speeds, often leaving people uncertain, tired, or disconnected. In this chaos, we need reminders of faith, inspiration, and purpose. This is where Sananda's message becomes powerful again. In this script, we won't just talk about an ancient figure. We will explore who Lord Sananda is in history, myth, and modern understanding. What timeless principles he represents: love, trust, creative power, unity. How these principles apply to us today in real life. What these teachings suggest about our future and the changes we face as a species. This is not just his story, it's your story. These ideas are not locked in the past. They are living forces that can guide your decisions, relationships, and dreams right now. Now, imagine for a moment that you could strip away everything you've been told about yourself, your name, your job, your culture, and look at what's left. What would you see? There, beneath all the labels and expectations, is the true self. That is where the essence of Sananda lives, not as a person outside you, but as an energy within you, a reminder that greatness, compassion, and purpose are not distant ideals. They are your birthright. Who is Lord Sananda? In many spiritual traditions, Sananda is recognized as an ascended master, often associated with the energy of Christ consciousness. While some see him as a continuation of the historical figure Jesus, the message of Sananda goes beyond any single religion. It's not about worship, it's about awakening. His name appears in different teachings as a guide, a teacher, and a carrier of universal love. The important point is this: Sananda's message belongs to everyone. Why does this matter today? Because we live in an age of noise. Everywhere you turn, information competes for your attention. The pace of life is fast, sometimes overwhelming, and people often feel disconnected from themselves, from each other, and from something greater. Sananda's presence is not a call to retreat from the world, but an invitation to live in it more fully, more consciously. His message is simple yet radical: you are more than you think you are. What does he teach? At the heart of Sananda's message are three pillars. Love as a force, not just a feeling. Love is action, courage, and compassion. It's what bridges differences and heals wounds. Awareness and choice. Every thought and action shapes your reality. Awareness is the first step to transformation. Unity and service. True strength comes from seeing yourself as part of something larger. Now, let's make this practical. How can these ideas apply to your everyday life? Imagine the stress of work, relationships, finances. Imagine all the uncertainties of today's world. Sananda's teachings remind you that fear is not your natural state. Every challenge is an opportunity to see things differently, to choose peace instead of panic, and to act with integrity and compassion. But this is not just theory. In the coming moments, we'll explore real-life scenarios: how to handle conflict, how to heal after loss, how to grow when everything feels uncertain. You'll see that the energy of Sananda is not locked in the clouds. It's as real as the choices you make when you wake up each morning. And here's the most important thing to remember. This is not about blindly believing in something unseen. It's about understanding that the qualities we associate with great teachers, wisdom, kindness, courage, are also in you. They are waiting to be awakened. So as we continue, open your mind to a larger vision of yourself and your place in this world. Ask yourself, what would happen if I truly lived from love? What would my relationships look like if I listened more, judged less? How much could I change, and how much could I inspire others if I believed that my life carried a deeper purpose? Take a deep breath. Close your eyes for a second and imagine this. All the noise around you fades. The notifications, the deadlines, the stress, all gone. In this quiet space, you sense something deeper. A question rises: who am I really, and why am I here? Since the dawn of humanity, we've searched for meaning. Across continents, cultures, and centuries, people have looked to the skies, the earth, and each other, wondering, where did we come from? What is our purpose? Is there something greater than us? And each generation finds its own guides, its own symbols of wisdom. Among these, one name has echoed through spiritual teachings for centuries: Lord Sananda. But who is Sananda? For some, the name feels familiar, linked to religion, ancient stories, or modern spiritual channels. Others may never have heard it before. The beauty of Sananda's message is that it doesn't matter what you already know. Sananda is not bound to one culture, one religion, or one historical event. He is a symbol, a teacher, a guide, a representation of something far greater: the awakening of the human heart and mind. In many teachings, Sananda is described as an ascended master. Some connect him with the energy of Christ consciousness, seeing him as a higher expression of love and wisdom beyond religious labels. But the essence of Sananda is this: he is not separate from you. His message is not about worshiping an external figure. It's about remembering your own light. Why talk about Sananda now? Because today's world is noisy, fast, and sometimes overwhelming. Technology moves faster than we can process. Social media floods our minds with comparison and distraction. We feel pulled in 100 directions, and often we feel tired, lost, or disconnected. Sananda's message cuts through this noise with a simple truth: you are more than you believe. The love, courage, and wisdom you seek are already within you. The three pillars of Sananda's message. 1. Love is a force. Love is not just a soft emotion. It's power. It's the courage to forgive when it's easier to hold a grudge. It's the strength to listen when others shout. It's the energy that heals wounds and bridges divides. Sananda teaches that love is not a weakness. It's the greatest form of strength we can know. 2. Awareness and choice. Most of us live on autopilot, reacting to life instead of creating it. Sananda's voice says, wake up. Every thought is a seed. Every action shapes your future. Awareness means noticing your patterns, your fears, your hopes, and choosing with intention. 3. Unity and service. When you realize you are not separate, everything changes. Your pain is not just yours. Your joy ripples outward. Helping another does not reduce you, it expands you. Sananda reminds us, we rise by lifting others. How this applies to your life, this isn't just theory. It's about daily choices. Think of a stressful morning, late for work, inbox overflowing, a disagreement with someone you care about. What if, instead of spiraling, you paused? What if you chose patience over panic, kindness over criticism? Sananda's teachings are practical. They ask, when conflict comes, can you stay calm? When life feels heavy, can you trust that it's temporary? When someone is hurting, can you offer help, even a smile? These small acts create big change. Living consciously in a modern world, we live in an age of information overload. But wisdom is timeless. Sananda's message reminds us that no matter the era, the answer is always found within. So, how do you start? Begin simply. Take time for stillness. Even 5 minutes of quiet can shift your perspective. Practice gratitude. Notice one good thing each day. Forgive. Not to excuse others, but to free yourself. The more you practice, the more you realize. Peace is not something you chase. It's something you create. The greater vision. Sananda's story is not about leaving Earth. It's about transforming how we live here. He speaks to the soul, but also to the everyday human who feels doubt, fear, or pressure. His message: don't give up. You are part of something bigger than your problems. Every step you take matters. This is where hope comes alive. Imagine a world where more people choose compassion. Imagine families who listen more, communities who work together, leaders who value humanity above profit. It starts small, with you, with me, with each of us remembering that we are connected. The call to action. So now, I ask you, what will you do with this moment? Will you let it be just another video, another piece of content to scroll past? Or will you pause, reflect, and let something shift inside you? Lord Sananda's message is not about religion. It's about humanity's next step. It's about choosing to live awake, to love boldly, to serve with joy. And it's about remembering that, no matter what you've done or where you are, it's never too late to begin. So, take these words and let them guide you. Speak kindly to someone today. Forgive yourself for something you've carried too long. Help someone without expecting thanks. And when life gets loud and heavy, return to this simple truth. The light you seek is already within you. To truly understand Sananda's relevance today, we must look at the world around us. Humanity is in the midst of rapid change. Technology evolves every month, societies shift, and global challenges, from environmental crises to mental health struggles, affect millions. People feel disconnected, anxious, and uncertain about the future. In this landscape, Sananda's message becomes a lifeline. It's not about escaping reality. It's about transforming how we respond to it. He invites us to look at life differently. Problems are not punishments. They are invitations to grow. Think about the moments when you've struggled. Perhaps you faced a loss, a betrayal, or a dream that didn't unfold as expected. These moments can feel like the end of the road. But Sananda's teaching says, it's not the end. It's the turning point. He encourages us to ask, what is this challenge teaching me? How can I become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate because of it? When you shift your perspective, pain transforms into purpose. And this is crucial because today's world needs resilient hearts, people who can face uncertainty and still choose kindness, hope, and action. Sananda, an inner power. So many of us feel powerless. We watch the news, scroll through endless feeds, and sometimes believe the world is too big, too broken for us to make a difference. But here's Sananda's gentle reminder. You matter more than you know. One act of kindness can change a day. One voice can inspire many. A single choice to forgive or to help can ripple further than you imagine. When Sananda speaks of love, he's not talking about a passive feeling. He's pointing to an active force. He's saying, you are a creator. Your thoughts, words, and actions shape the reality you live in. How to live this every day? Here are some ways to practice this message. Start the day with intention. Before reaching for your phone, pause. Ask yourself, how do I want to show up today? Notice your thoughts. Are they critical or compassionate? Replace judgment with curiosity. Choose one act of service. Smile at a stranger, help a colleague, call a loved one. Service doesn't have to be grand, it just has to be sincere. Create space to recharge. Meditation, journaling, walking, whatever helps you reconnect with yourself. These simple actions build momentum. Over time, you'll notice that your reactions change, your patience grows, and your joy deepens. Sananda and the future. Finally, let's talk about vision. What kind of world are we creating? Every generation leaves a mark. Today, we have the power to create something extraordinary, not by waiting for leaders to fix everything, but by becoming leaders in our own lives. Sananda's message is a reminder. Humanity's future is bright when love leads the way. Imagine schools that teach kindness as a core subject. Imagine workplaces where collaboration matters more than competition. Imagine technology used not to divide, but to heal and connect. This is not naive, it's necessary. And it begins with you. Your invitation. So, as this message draws to a close, pause and take a breath. Look around your life right now. Where can you bring more love? Where can you choose awareness instead of fear? Where can you serve, even in small ways? This is what Sananda calls us to do, not to worship, but to awaken. To remember that your life, exactly as it is, holds infinite potential. To remember that no mistake, no setback, no fear is final. And when you forget, when you feel lost, come back to this. The light you seek has been within you all along.